Hello and welcome. So today I am very excited because I get to talk about the best books that I've read last year. So let's just jump right into it. So the very first book on the list is Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this is without a doubt the best book on habits that I've ever read. But the approach that Clear has to building habits and breaking them as well has really laid the groundwork for me to build the systems that I have in life. And this book doesn't just teach you about habits, it teaches you how to achieve your goals. So all in all, I cannot recommend this book enough. Okay, and moving on to the next book, we have Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And let me tell you, I read this book in a day. I didn't skip a single part. It's really that good. So let me tell you a little story. I recently picked up the running habit. I'm doing it for a few months now. And when I run, I sometimes watch motivational videos, especially when I'm running a difficult run where I'm really pushing myself. And on these videos, when Goggins starts speaking, I always think to myself, no fucking quitting when Goggins is watching, even if I'm exhausted as hell. It really does help, especially now that I know the story behind him. The work ethic and discipline that this man has, the life that he has lived, and the message that he sends is really, really so life-changing and so inspiring. I highly recommend this book as well. The third book that I think is one of the best books that I read last year is Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. So this book asked the question, what exactly makes high achievers different from the rest? And the answer will actually most likely surprise you. Basically, so often we believe that the successful people and the high performance people come out of nowhere. They were born that way. But that's just not true. We do not see the hours that they've put in to get where they are. We only see them in their moments of brilliance, when they excel. This is really such an interesting book, and I highly recommend that you read it as well. It's really eye-opening and inspiring in a way. Extreme Ownership by Jocko, Willink and Leif Babin. So this book, the notion of taking extreme ownership, which is all about owning every part of your life, has become one of the core principles of mine after having read the book. So the layout of the chapters actually makes this book really, really easy to read and understand. Also because it makes the book really enjoyable to read. So taking ownership frees you, because when you realize that you're in control, that you are responsible, you realize that it's also up to you to change your situation, and you realize that you can change your situation. Alright, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. So I do realize that I'm kind of cheating here, because I did read the book back in 2018, so I knew that I would like it from the start. But I think that it's such a great book about such a great man, Marcus Aurelius himself. And it's really, as Ryan Holiday says, a book to base your life upon. This book really served as my proper introduction to Stoicism, if we are only counting books written before 200 AD, because I did read Ryan Holiday's book, The Obstacle is the Way. So if you don't know what Meditations is about or where it's from, it's written by Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor. And it's his own way of making sense of the universe as a kind of notes to himself. Because this book was actually never intended to be published by him. It was just notes to himself. So following the trend of Stoicism and philosophy, we can discuss the next book, which is called How to Think Like a Roman Emperor, and it was written by Donald Robertson. This book tells the story of Marcus as he grew up and how he faced the adversity along the way. And Robertson guides you to apply the things that Marcus learned in your own life. This book is truly one of the best books that I've read last year, especially because of how practical it is in nature. It really helps you apply these Stoic principles to your own life. So the next book on the list is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. And this book is really so incredibly intriguing and well told. I could not put this away from me. The book details the story of both Phil Knight and Nike, and it's really just an intriguing and such an entertaining, captivating story. After reading the book, I really just wanted to go out and buy some Nikes, because now I knew how it all started. How Nike came to be and honestly, just an amazing book all in all. I highly recommend it. Alright, this next book here is Total Recall by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this book is just like Shoe Dog, also a biography. And honestly, this book tells the story of Arnold, how he came to America from Austria. His work ethic and drive is just out of this world. I think that it's probably one of the greatest immigrant stories ever to have taken place. One of the greatest rise to greatness stories as well. And I must admit that my interest lies in the start of the book, the first half, and that's because of it details Arnold's youth and early career, because everything he did after becoming a politician became way too political for me. And that's just because I can mostly relate to the youth and fitness part of it all, and that's what inspires me most from the book. But nevertheless, he kept going with his work ethic and drive even in his political career. So really, the whole book in itself is so interesting, and I read the whole thing. Don't get me wrong. You cannot avoid being inspired and learn from Arnold's approach to life. And in the back of the book, Arnold details his rules as well as his 10 principles, which honestly I often use as a guide. One of my favorite rules is reps, reps, reps. And my interpretation of the rule is that you always have to do something to be good at it. You can't just expect to be good at something from the start. For example, when you're learning something new, you can't just, well, some people can, and that's just how it is. But most of the time, you can't just be good at something the moment that you try. So all in all, this book was such an amazing book to read, and it was a long one at that, but it was really worth it. And the last book that we're going to be discussing is Mindset by Dweck. So this book is all about the growth and fixed mindset and the importance of having a growth mindset. So I had very low expectations of this book. I thought it was kind of a book filled with platitudes and that it wouldn't really be anything special. I'm not even sure why I thought that, but I just did. But I was very, very positively surprised. Basically, when you start living your life, you're given this blank slate and you can fill it up however you want. Your life is kind of like a blueprint and you can fill out the blueprint however you feel. So this book is not only inspirational, it's also very insightful. So it really shows how almost every area of human endeavor can be dramatically influenced by how we think about our talents and abilities. People with a fixed mindset, so those who believe that their abilities are fixed, they are less likely to flourish than those with a growth mindset, and that's those who believe that their abilities can be developed. So I really think that you should read this book, because with the right mindset, you can transform your life. And this book teaches you how to develop a growth mindset. So thank you for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed my list, and I hope that you'll read the books and it'll change your life as much as they did mine. But realize that books won't change your life, but turning what you learn from them into action will. I wish you a great day. Have a good one.